Hey y'all, so the Mario Kart Booster Course Pass Wave 6 trailer just released last week, and I realized 15 out of 32 tracks from Mario Kart Wii are in 8 Deluxe. Seriously, where is that representation from Double Dash? Oh well, let's talk about Mario Kart Wii, the first Mario Kart game I ever played. I've been playing this game since 4 years old, and the first time I saw was when my dad was playing Mushroom Gorge. I used to be scared when my dad fell into the abyss in the cave section because you can't see what's at the bottom. Nowadays, I still play sometimes because there's a mod for this game called CTGP, which people can create custom tracks and play online again. I'm amazed how people are still playing this game regularly. So yeah, that's my backstory for this game. This is one of my favorites alongside Double Dash because of how broken it is. For example, you know how overpowered certain characters and vehicles are, but also while playing, you can pull off insane shortcuts and glitches in the game, which adds so much excitement. Besides A Deluxe, I think this game has the best roster, with my favorite inclusion being Funky Kong, since he's so cool. The new items are alright, but god I hope they never bring back the Thunder Cloud. Good lord. Let's talk about the tracks. Just like in my DS video, the Nitro tracks in this game are top tier, and once again they went really creative, making all-time classics. The retros on the other hand are pretty good for the most part, with some of them being boring. With that being said, let's get started. Fortunately, there will be no F tier, but we have some D tiers to cover. Let's go. Number 32, GBA Shy Guy Beach. Oh, it's a shame what they did to this track. When I was younger, I didn't mind this track because of good music and cannonballs flying, which I still say is the most positive aspects of this track. But now playing it, and I realize how annoying the crabs are, and the track doesn't play well. Every time you go through the water and grass area, it really slows you down, and the island hop in the middle is really not satisfying to drive on, unlike the Super Circuit version. On top of that, the course doesn't look good. The original looked very pretty, but the Mario Kart Wii kinda made some tracks look ugly, which one of them is this. So yeah, this is my least favorite track in the game. Number 31. DS Yoshi Falls. Why the f did Nintendo bring this track back? This is one of the worst Nitro tracks from DS, and it's so forgettable once you finish it because of how short it is. The only good change is that you can trick on the third bridge, but that's about it. Don't ever disrespect using Yoshi's name again, Nintendo. Number 30. N64 Sherbet Land. The word I would describe this track is boring. I didn't like the original version as well, but I wasn't as bored as this. The road is quite slippery and the penguins can be pretty annoying to dodge. The worst part is that there's a long straightaway with nothing on it. You're just driving on boring looking ice. Music is nice, but come on, I like most Mario Kart music. Number 29. Luigi Circuit. It's perfectly acceptable when it's the first time playing this game, but otherwise no way you want to play it again. It's another oval-like shape, but it does introduce a ramp to trick on if you have a mushroom, and there's a big shortcut you can take between the pipes, which shows what to expect for later courses. So it does introduce the game well, it's just in comparison to other tracks, this one looks lame. Anyway, we're done with the D tier and now on to the C tier. The tracks I find are okay. Number 28. SNES Mario Circuit 3. This used to be my least favorite track, but after playing again, it's not that bad. Of course I don't like the middle where you have to make a sharp turn. You can still do the shortcuts and they added a boost at the end. Not bad for a remake, but nothing special. Number 27. Mario Circuit. And we have another one of these, I see. The layout is basically like figure 8 circuit, but much better since the background feels more alive, and there's a big chain chomp that will get you if you're not being careful. Otherwise, it's just another track. Number 26. N64 Mario Raceway. I swear I'm not putting these tracks in a row on purpose, it just shows how mediocre these tracks are. Now this one, it has a better layout and you can take shortcuts around the corner, which is cool, and you can trick off the sides of the pipe. But yeah, other than that, there's just nothing to talk about these tracks. It's kinda sad that I have more to say in the older games. Number 25. Moo Moo Meadows. It kinda feels mean to put this track low since I always end up kinda enjoy this track, but it's not quite there. The cows are fun to dodge, and with the big boost ramp, you have to angle right to go around the small grassy hills to avoid slowing you down. The environment looks very nice as well, but for me, I think it's the track layout that I'm not a fan of. Number 24. DS Desert Hills. Seriously, why did Nintendo decide to bring back the two worst nitros from DS? Like, couldn't they brought back other tracks? Oh well, as I said in my previous video, the Super Mario Bros. 3 aspects heavily carry the track, but also you can trick on multiple hills, and the sharp turns at the end work much better in this game than in the DS. Still though, it's just not that interesting compared to other tracks. Oh hey, we're done with the C tier, and now on to the B tier, which are tracks I like. Number 23. GCM Peach Beach. I mean, what is there to say about this version of Peach Beach? It's a good beach track, with the cataquacks being good obstacles. They took the useless pipe that gives you a double box, which isn't a big deal. I will say the visuals look worse than the original for some reason. God, why didn't Nintendo release an HD console? Alright, because they're too lazy. Silly me. Number 22. Daisy Circuit. I was thinking of putting this in the C tier, but because of the theme, I had to rank higher. The sunset in the background is beautiful, and it's nice to listen to. And unlike many other circuit tracks, this has a unique layout. Even though I know taking the narrow staircase in the pink building is slower if you don't have the mushroom, but I do it cause it's a lot of fun. My biggest problem with the track though are the traffic cones. If you use a bike and hit one, it really slows you down and can ruin your race, but other than that, it's a nice track. Number 21. SNES Ghost Valley 2. For some reason, I enjoyed this track. I think Nintendo really nailed the atmosphere, making the track look really dark, and the music is pretty sinister. The blocks falling when you hit them add to the vibe as well, so I always enjoyed this track for what it was. Number 20. GBA Bowser Castle 3. I always enjoyed this course due to the cool, sinister atmosphere, but I also like the layout as well. Lots of sharp turns to make, with many thwomps to dodge. The tricks aren't quite satisfying as other tracks, but they're alright. For a flat GBA track, I think they did the best they could. Number 19. GCM Mario Circuit. Now this is how you remake a Mario Circuit track. The one thing I liked about the original is how much charm there is, but unfortunately it leaves me kind of unsatisfied because the bumps at the end don't do much to the course overall. But guess what? You can trick off of them now. A simple change like that can drastically improve a course. While the graphics aren't as good, it still captures the charm of the original, so I'm satisfied with that. Number 18. Moonview Highway. I didn't expect this course to come back in the booster course path. Anyway, this is the night version of Shroom Ridge from DS, with trucks and cars and even bomb cars to dodge on a narrow road. The best part of the track has got to be the highway section, where you try and find the most optimal route to avoid the fast vehicles that switches lanes, and I like how the music gets all jazzy as well. Though it's probably the easiest part of the track, which is my main criticism. I wish the highway layout could be a little more interesting. For example, they could have had multiple paths to take rather than just going around. Still a good track overall. Number 17. DS Peach Gardens. Now this is a DS track that I'm glad Nintendo brought back. The charm is still there, with the chain chomp section being my favorite portion of the track, and it feels like the hedges got taller, or maybe it's just me. Like what I said about GCM Peach Beach, the graphic looks worse in this version, and the colors just don't pop as well. At least we got a better looking one on 8 Deluxe. Alright, we crossed the halfway point. Let's talk about Battle Mode now. Mario Kart Wii is an amazing game, but the one thing that holds back is this. Yeah, unfortunately it's not good. The fact that this game forces you to play in teams, and the time limit is only 3 minutes, is so retarded. You don't get the freedom to do whatever you want, and your contribution doesn't matter since your computer players can be either playing good or bad. This explains why I didn't play this mode as much when I was younger. The only reason I would play other tracks, and which most of them are actually really good. In fact, let's rank him now. 10 is GBA Battle Course 3. Boring and there's legit nothing but 4 L's, and they deserve that. I never picked this one. Number 9, GCN Cookie Land. This was not the right course to bring back since it's too small for 12 players. Number 8, Chain Chomp Wheel. Cool theme but not one of my favorites for attacking players. Number 7, Swamp Desert. Tricking the shockwaves from swamps quite adds to the gameplay. Number 6, SNES Battle Course 4. I really like the multiple lanes you can go and you can make great plays. Number 5, N64 Skyscraper. Doing tricks to get to the other side is a lot of fun and makes killing others easier. Number 4, DS Twilight House. Oh hey, it's my favorite battle stage from DS. You know why it's so good. Number 3, Block Plaza. This is the version of Block 4 I grew up with, and it's cool that when each minute goes by, the statues sink, leaving a big pit. Number 2, Delfino Pier. There's so many areas to explore while avoiding the rising water at the same time, makes it one of the most enjoyable stages in the game. Number 1, Funky Stadium. The opening speaks for itself. It has cool music, many cool tricks that you can do, and half pipes everywhere. It's an all-time classic. I'm so upset that none of the stages ever got remade. Very unfortunate. Number 16, N64 DK's Jungle Parkway. This is just a nice, relaxing track to play. Even though there's not many obstacles, it still manages to be fun, especially leaving items on the bridge section and taking a shortcut in the cave if you have a mushroom. I will say the ramp is kinda lame now, since you don't have any control where you land, unlike the N64 version. But the rocks hitting you in the original, I'm not missing that. And that's all of our B tier, and now onto the A tier, which is crazy to think how many great tracks are in this game. Number 15, Dry Ruins. Dry Ruins has got to be the best desert track in all of Mario Kart. I really enjoy Calamari Desert as well, but most of the time you're driving on an open desert. While with this one, you've got pillars falling by each lap, some pokies to dodge, but obviously the biggest highlight is the temple. You enter and at the first turn, you're kind of forced to use the half pipes to go over the pile of sand, and later then, in the center of the pyramid by each lap, the sand slowly fills up, which is a neat detail, and the music is a banger as well. Also bonus points for Yoshi statue as well. Number 14, Wario's Gold Mine. I didn't have much feelings for this track when I was younger, but I appreciate it more over time. The track has multiple narrow steep declines, which kinda prepares you for Rainbow Road. It kinda feels like you're riding on a roller coaster, and I'm here for it. The mine cars are annoying obstacles, but in a good way for me. It's not friendly for newcomers, but that's totally fine for me. I really wish they didn't nerf it in 8 Deluxe. Number 13, DS Delfino Square. Now that's a great track to bring back. It works perfectly with Mario Kart Wii's controls, and with the trick system, you can skip a lot of the track, and the bridge trick will always be satisfying for me. Once again, good atmosphere, and I hope they bring it back in the future. Number 12, Mushroom Gorge. Ah yes, the track that got me feared when I was younger. This course is very complex for a mushroom cup, but it's so much fun bouncing on these mushrooms. With the controls, I really like how you can angle yourself where you want to go. The little things like that is why I love this game. It's no wonder why Nintendo wants to bring this track into every game. Oh yeah, and the shortcut at the end is too difficult for me. I guess I'm still bad at this game. Number 11, Toad's Factory. I'm still shocked that Nintendo hasn't remade this track in Tour at least, since it's a fan favorite. The atmosphere is unlike any course I've seen, and that you're in a factory that makes item boxes. You have conveyor belts to go through, whether it's forward or backwards, or even to the side. You've got tons of things to worry about, and the end has tractors blocking you, and you have to figure out which boost panels you are taking, or otherwise you're stuck in the mud. Such a clever concept that happens to be in a mushroom cup. Yeah, this is easily the best mushroom cup of the series, that's for sure. Number 10, GCN Waluigi Stadium. Yeah, this track is made for this game. Obviously having the trick system is great, but the addition of half pipes makes it even better. Once again, there's lots of obstacles to dodge like the fire bars, but it still maintains to be an exhilarating, fun track that I'm glad was brought back in A Deluxe. Not much else to say other than it's a great track. Number 9. Grumble Volcano. If hell was a racetrack, then it would be like this. The atmosphere is perfect, and I love how large balls of fire come at you, and each lap, a part of the track sinks into the lava, shrinking the size of the track. That's just so cool. The cave has 2 ways you can go as well, but what shocked me with this course is the number of broken shortcuts you can make. Example where you get to go on a rock and just go in circles, and you can finish at an unbelievable time. It's ridiculous, and I love that. While 8's visuals are nice, I prefer the looks here than there. Number 8. N64 Bowser's Castle. The creepy, ominous Bowser Castle track is back, and they haven't taken any of the vibes off. It captures the magic of the original, with lots of swamps to dodge, although it's easier, and the weird feeling when you exit the main castle. The one improvement I would really like is the addition of lava geysers towards the end. They're not difficult to dodge, but it's pretty cool. Overall, one of the best remakes for this game, only beaten by one other course, which is Number 7. GCN DK Mountain. Yeah, both of my number 1s from the other games are my favorite retros, which isn't surprising. This track is on par with the original. The cannon is just so much fun to take, and going down the mountain is bumpy, which is how it should be. Oh, and I really like the broken shortcut where the boulder section is. I can't believe Nintendo allowed that. I will say the free ramps at the top of the mountain are a bit unnecessary, but that's alright with me. I hope the A Deluxe version captures the same magic. And we're finally done with the A tier, and on to the S tier. These are ones that I replayed a lot. Number 6. DK Summit. DK Summit has got to be the track that best utilizes the half pipes. In fact, most of the half pipes you take are faster. This is a snow winter themed track that's not slippery, and the first time that I actually love. I love the bumpy section in the middle, since tricking so many times is the most satisfying feeling ever, and you're able to take a massive shortcut in the U-turn section. Once again, so broken. And then the end, it encourages you to take the half pipe, but also be careful of the Shy Guys snowboarding, which are great enemies. Number 5. Bowser's Castle. So I said in my previous video that DS Bowser Castle is one of my favorites, and that's still true. This one is the best in the entire series. I mean, it's everything I want. The wavy hallway, Bowser spitting giant fireballs, and you're encouraged to take the half pipes without falling off, split lanes, figure out which swamp's lane to go, and it doesn't end here. You've got to avoid multiple lava geysers sprouting up in the air. It's chaotic, and that's how Bowser's Castle track should be. It's the best they can do, and I want this track back, even though I want more representation from other games. Number 4. Koopa Cape. It's very easy to love Koopa Cape. First off, I love the fun, energetic music, and it feels like I'm in a splash pad area that makes me happy. And the music changes each section you go. You start by driving on a cliff, and then you go onto a river, which is fun to traverse around. And the coolest part of the track for me as a kid was the underwater tunnel. It always reminds me of one of those see-through aquariums where you can see the different fishes, and it captures perfectly here. Something they ruined in the other games. Good lord, I'm not looking forward to talk about it. Anyway, this is the best version of this track, unless they change back the ending. Number 3. Rainbow Road. Of all the Rainbow Roads, this is easily the hardest and no one can deny that, because wow, this track is just so much fun to drive through. From a steep hill downwards at the first section and going through the wavy road and going around the 2 circular holes to the launch start cannon, it's so complicated and it can be frustrating falling multiple times, but never once I hated because I enjoy the visuals so much. And once I was able to master, it felt so satisfying completing the final challenge of this game. It was a logical choice to bring back for the final track of this booster course pass. Number 2. Maple Treeway. I know Wii tends to make the visuals worse for many tracks, but the fall theme here is so beautiful. You have a hidden shortcut in the beginning, which is so unusual, followed up by a cannon and a difficult hard turn of a tree branch. Then you have big wigglers to dodge, which can be difficult at first when they move and stop, but I can't help the fact that they're really cute. I also love how this track is almost as hard as Rainbow Road, and going through the bushes, you never know which item will pop up. I wish they didn't take the jack-off bridge at the end and replace by a gliding section. I know it's the most logical spot to put, but come on, it's kinda boring without it. But this only applies to the future titles. This is the original we're talking about, and it's amazing. There's one track that I think is even more perfect, and that is...
You just got coconut mold.
I mean, there wasn't even a contest. I'm going with everyone else on this. Coconut Mall is just perfect from beginning to end, with lots of stuff you can do, such as going through the escalators, discovering that there's a shortcut in one store, and tricking on fountains. If you take the left exit, there's a sign that says "Have a nice day," and the next thing you know, you're making big jump and entering a parking lot. You have Mii's and cars to dodge, which are definitely not messing around. Wow, it's so crazy. Just like everyone else, it blew my mind as a kid being able to drive through a shopping mall like it's nothing. It's a masterful concept that became a big meme on the internet. It's courses like these that make Mario Kart a popular franchise, and I thank Nintendo for coming up with these awesome concepts, and that's why this course comes in at number 1. Well, that's it. Ever since my Super Mario Kart ranking video, I've been dying to make this video, and I'm glad it's finally here. It's one of my favorite games of all time, and I'm glad I grew up with it. We're very close to the end of the series, and the next one I'll be doing is 7. Comment your favorite track from this game, and I hope you have a nice day. Thank you for watching.